Organising union RMT says it cannot allow the sackings to go unchallenged and is asking passengers not to travel on the ferry. P&O said the decision was taken as a last resort to ensure the company's survival. From Cairnryan, James Mahon sent this report.
It's been another bad week of headlines for ferry operator P&O. On Tuesday, the European Causeway lost power off the Belfast coast while sailing from Cairnryan to Larne. 48 hours later, the ferry was back in service after passing a safety inspection. Now, as you can see behind me, more than 30 RMT union staff have been protesting against the sacking of 800 P&O workers across the UK without notice and replacing them with cheaper minimum wage or lower than UK minimum wage workers. But P&O has said it was a tough decision, but it would not be a viable business without the changes. Also this week, Transport Secretary Grant Shapps told a House of Commons Select Committee that P&O boss Peter Hebblethwaite will have to go. Now, that's a sentiment felt strongly by the majority of people we've spoken to right behind me who are just sick and tired of the last few weeks and the frustrations, and they've told us they're going nowhere.
The management of P&O are an absolute disgrace and they cannot and will not be allowed to get away with this behaviour to workers. We're going to boycott P&O and campaign until they back down and reinstate the real workers of P&O and pay them a decent wage.
Ultimately, what the RMT are looking for is a change in employment law. For the Tory government at Westminster, they need to tighten employment law. They've given us a lot of warm words, but so far no action.
This is the third time that there's been protests right here in Cairnryan, and the protesters behind me told me they are going nowhere, and they're going to make this part of a rolling protest agenda in order to get the P&O bosses sacked, and also they're hoping for a nationalisation of the ferry service altogether. James Mahon, ITV News, Cairnryan.
Well, P&O say they stand by their decision and say that losses of £100 million a year left them with no choice but to shed jobs.